above and below to the ground. And this thing works. If you make, if you do the try, it works better than normal. What you speak about dipole antenna. Dipole antenna has inverse square falling of the received energy. And in this device, you can have a linear one to the distance dependence on what you can receive. So it works a little bit better than dipole antenna. But okay, if you don't use right frequency, you cannot reach much more. It falls down, but it falls slower than a dipole antenna that is used in a normal transmitter. Because these near fields, because of the geometry of the antenna and the fields, are extended at the longer range. I think that would be the explanation of that. I'm not talking about anything new, because this is 100 years old. I'm only talking about the technology that is still not in use and could be in that sense.
Can you please show the simulation of your two devices with a pointing vector?
It's difficult to see because the pointing vector is small. This program is not easy. Okay. Program doesn't work this. This is difficult to, there are bugs in the program, so we cannot really see that. In this drawing there are too many, this computer is overloaded with the pointing vector. So pointing vector is something like that, it's nonsense. The software doesn't, it's out of the capability of this software. I think computer will crash soon. Any other question?
Yep. You said that you are more or less complaining that this energy transfer technology is not used, but would it be safe to use it? I mean, people are complaining about, already complaining about safety of high voltage power lines, but what about something which transmits power wirelessly and all over space? I mean, if some aircraft goes through the field, what happens?
No, there is no problem with that, but in the safety, yes, there are some problems. This thing, as you can see, before turns in the hand neon lights, neon tubes, it creates a large amount of electric fields. So the electric fields are strong, and this is probably not healthy. It could be much above the state regulations of how can I say, irradiation of the persons to the electric fields. Especially if device works on a real power like kilowatts or megawatts. So you are not supposed to be close to this device, but somewhere away from, and driven by, and energy should be transmitted by normal wire. In the house, nothing will change dramatically, but the distribution of the energy would not need so many wires if that was used. So this is a good question, in fact. And
we have seen
and on the airplane, there is no problem. There is no problem to nothing that doesn't resonate, and especially doesn't have a ground. So airplane has no ground, and he can receive nothing from that. But if somebody has ground, he is still not antenna, because things are very difficult to get into the resonance. You should be about below 1% in the frequency range in order to get correct transfer. This is really difficult to tune and difficult to obtain resonant condition. Without resonance, all the things behave normal, and you cannot see any other effects of the energy flowing anywhere before you get correct receiver.
We have seen a computer on one of these images, and I want to ask if there is any disturbances at the machines when you use that energy.
Yes. Not computer, not because his computer is in a casing, which is metal, but I have one Thomson wireless router. It gets constantly reset and rebooted while the device is operated. So there are some, yes, there are some problems with the devices.
Over here.
Yeah.
My question is about the movie. You showed, I think it was the second movie. You disconnected the wire, which was the ground.
Yeah.
You touched it on both ends, and the LED was not as bright as before. So,
yeah.
So you're saying the LED is getting the power to the air? Is
yes.
that correct?
Yes, of course.
So if you increased what's it called, the resistance by putting your body where before there was a copper
yes.
coil, a copper wire,
yeah.
and it goes down. Why does it go down so much? I mean, that makes no sense to me if what you said is true. That
the only thing what actually you need from the ground is need something bigger, significantly bigger than the top load capacitor here. So I am bigger as a body than the top load capacitor. So capacity of me is larger than the capacity of top of the antenna. So we have some kind of asymmetry in this sense, and therefore I work as some kind of a ground. As well, I need to lay down in order to get the better effect, because I am shielding the field when I stand, when I am higher than the antenna in the video. So if I was leaning down and touching the LED, there will be brighter effect, but okay. It behaves like that. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Yes?
The experiment seems to me very similar to a radio transmission. You can also have, when you have an antenna and you put a bulb to it, she also lights.
Yes?
Okay. It seems to me very similar to a radio transmission. When you put a bulb in the near of an antenna, she also lights.
Yes, that's okay.
Is it the same effect?
Yes, there's a same effect. All types of radios, AMs and low frequency radios with large antenna, and when antenna was driving partially like a capacitor and not like a quarter wave resonance line, is the same effect like that. That is as well the same, and you could build some receivers in that sense. Only this thing is optimized to receive the energy. Radio is optimized to transmit information. So we have in the essence of the idea that we remotely power something. That was our geometry of the antenna, driving circuit, etc.
Thank you.
Okay.
Could you please not walk in front of the cameras, please?
I think... we have more time?
10 minutes left.
Okay. I think we have no time more, so you can meet me afterwards and...
10 minutes if you want.
I forgot. We have some 10 minutes additionally, so if more of you would like to ask something...
Hello. I
Okay,
I have a question. I have seen on the internet about here.
Okay.
I have seen on the internet there is a project or a company called Witricity in the States working on transferring electricity wirelessly. Have you heard about this project? Is it somehow related?
I haven't heard about the project. Well, it could be somehow related, but I don't know, because I haven't seen it. I should look at that. If the antennas are similar like Tesla coils, then yes, it's related. The other way of wireless transmission is using the magnetic field. And this is the short-range transmission. Magnetic field should be curves that are close to itself, so you can have some kind of portability because you don't